Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? It's so wonderful to see all of you here today. The outcome of your desires depends on the perception of the event. Okay? Now, here's a message for you. You guys, the biggest thing that you guys have that's totally different from everyone else is that your brain is wired differently. Each person have a unique way they view their world and their life. No two people will ever see the same thing. No two people will ever totally agree. No two people will ever have the same experience. That is the difference between you guys and everybody else. Here's the one thing you got going on. You have chosen to experience a world or reality where you use the universe signs and signals to help facilitate your journey to your manifestations or your success. You have activated synchronicities. You have numbers following you, helping you, guiding you. You have activated your intuition, heightened it. You have gotten in contact and communication with your higher self. You have created a world where everything around it is working in your favor. The universe is literally rigged in your favor. That's what you have done. Now, here's something I want you to consider. If you ever doubt that it will happen, or I doubt it, I'll get my desires, I'll get my manifestation, stop doubting it, because here's something I want you to consider and the truth of how the nature of reality works. All right, I'm gonna put it to you so you can definitely grasp it and understand it. So something has been hidden from all of us. So let's talk about consciousness so you can get this picture. What is consciousness? Consciousness is having an experience in the first person. It's a first person experience. You can feel, touch, taste, smell, right? If you see a color, you know that's the color. But consciousness, they call it the hard problem, because whilst neuroscience and everyone and physicists and biology, they pretty much map the entire brain. They know exactly how consciousness operates. They know the neurons that it comes into, but they still cannot tell why you experience things. There's no answer. When you see the color blue, what makes the color blue make you feel a certain way? They can't tell you that. They cannot tell you the experience. Right, I'm going to say, you see how that works? So I'm going to tie this in for you. Now, so here's the fascinating thing they've said. So they said the consciousness comes into the brain and the brain processes. But now, when they got to this point where they're stuck, where they say, we can't tell. We know how consciousness works in the process, but it shouldn't be working. You shouldn't be aware. You shouldn't have experiences. That's what baffled. They say, wait a minute. So this works, but how do they experience this stuff? Where's the answer for that? And it brought them to a baffling conclusion. Here's a baffling conclusion. Consciousness may not be in the brain. The brain may be in consciousness. You may generate the experience and the brain. So the brain is inside of you. The brain doesn't receive the consciousness. Consciousness creates your brain. Because they can't tell you of an experience. You can't. They go study it to find out look it up. The hard problem of consciousness. No one knows. But here, I got the answer for you. So, if consciousness creates the brain, generates the brain, renders the brain, and the brain is rendering our first person experience, one question I have for you is, well, first of all, you have the first person experience and you have the mental imagination experience. So there's two people at all times. You got first person and you got third person. You got some, when you go in your imagination, you can see yourself, right? Some people can see it in first person, majority can see it in third person. That's the incredible truth. Here's what's been hidden from you. And this will free you up, and this will catapult your manifestations to a new level. Did you know that the real you is not the first person? The real you is the person that you think about as yourself inside of your head. When you imagine, when you visualize seeing yourself doing something or having something, that is the true you. How do we know this to be truth? Look at your life. Look at other people's life. People focus more on lack and what they don't want. People focus more on what's missing. People focus more on their insecurities. Not you, chosen ones. You're getting to that point. But the majority of people around you, they focus on that stuff. They think about that. They have an image in their mind of their limitations and their lack, and it shows up as their first person. So if you think about it, if you want to do what we call reverse engineering, you have to go. You have to follow the crumbs, and the crumbs goes to, wait a minute. So that means the real person is in my imagination, because I've been imagining and thinking the worst, and I think I'm this low class person, and it's been showing up in my life as a first person. That's what they don't tell you. They don't tell you that in school. They don't tell you that on the news. They don't tell you that in the books. They don't say, hey, by the way, the real person is what you thinketh in your brain and your mind. They don't say that. So, I just told you guys that your brains are wired different. So that means the majority of you guys, you are always focusing on what you want. You are more likely thinking positive of yourself. You're more likely seeing yourself a success, a winner, right? And that is the real version of you. So what's going to happen if you continue to do that, if you continue to build that repetition and that habit of thinking and seeing yourself in the mind as a third or first person, as a winner, as a success, as healthy, as wealthy, as talented, and see these things as majority of the time as you can, what happens now, that third person inside the mind becomes the first person in a physical experience. That's the message for you. I'll repeat again. Many of you are just joining this. I'll point to you the facts to show you this. It lies in what's called the hard problem of consciousness. Since scientists, neuroscience, they cannot figure out why you have an experience. They know you are experiencing it, but they can't figure out why something makes you feel a certain way. Can't experience that. They can't tell you that. They cannot. There's no explanation. They can map the entire brain. They know all the processes. They know the synapses, the neurons, the dendrites. They know where all the signals, the electrochemical signal the brain produces, but still it's saying that this should not happen. So the only logical, the only explanation that's baffling is that your brain is a derivative of consciousness, of your awareness. In other words, you render the brain to play you. The brain is not a separate entity. That's the only way. That's the only thing. They can't explain it. So if that's the truth, so what's in your brain? What's in your head? You put yourself inside of your imagination. That's how it's designed. That's how it's really set up. That's how it works. It goes from inside out. There's no outside in. That doesn't exist in this universe. Okay? Think about that. There is only inside and then outside. So another lie they put to you is there is outside. There is no inside. Well, let me get specific. They say there's outside, and then they say the inside is just fictitious. It's just processes. It's just your imagination. They never tell you, or they never explain to you that your imagination is what builds worlds. They leave that little, the most important part out. They leave it out. So what you have to do is you have to take this knowledge, man, and you have to start to implement it. And you can go test this in the next 30 days if you practice this and see yourself inside the way you want it to be. It's going to reflect and become your first person outside. There is no other way. Yes, and today is the 11/11. So this message is finding you on the 11/11, which means you're in resonance with it, and it must manifest, and it must come to be for you. You see how that works? That's the message you have to understand. So what does it mean? What's the big picture? You are already destined for your manifestation. You're already successful. It really lies in your hands. It's up to you. No one is outside stopping you. All you have to do is make a choice to see the version of yourself that you'd like. And then it will go from inside and it will come outside. That's the bottom line. So that means if you've been visualizing, if you've been seeing your success, if you've been thinking about it, if it makes you feel good, if it makes you feel normal, if your overall image of yourself is that person that you want to be or desire to be, then that is the real you waiting to manifest into the first person. And the only way you can get the real you outside is by the practice of repetition. The real you can only come out when the subconscious accepts it. Your subconscious is a guardian. It's a protector. It doesn't like change. It's a manifester of all different realities. And what it does, in order to move it to get to where you want to be, you have to keep hitting it. It's a signal that wakes it up. Repetition is how the subconscious creates realities. So if you keep knocking on, what somewhere it says, right, what's the old saying says, you keep knocking, what will happen? The door will open. So if you keep knocking on your subconscious, it's going to open. And when it opens, it's going to make the third person the first person. It's going to make the imagination part of you become the physical reality part of you. So that means the easiest way to start to get your subconscious to impress, to focus your subconscious, is to start to see. You have to create a whole new perception of your self-image. So it's real simple to do. Look at your self-image now, and then say to yourself, okay, so this is the image I don't like. Okay, what image would I like to see? And you can put any image in your imagination. Nothing's going to reject it. You can go imagine the perfect version of you, body, height, whatever, money making, see whatever experience. If you see that version of yourself and you stick with that version, that's the first step if you start to program your subconscious. So what you're doing, and you repeat that over and over. Now you're creating what's called a new map of reality. And what happens, the subconscious will accept this new personality or this new persona. And when it accepts this new persona, it must filter it out into the first person experience of consciousness. Hey, Power 8, nice to see you. Mark, I've been following their teachings for a year and my life has improved. Yes, and everyone's life will improve because this is how it truly works. It's deep, it's profound, but it's the truth. And this is what's been hidden from the majority of individuals. They don't see it this way and they don't understand it. That's why I say to you guys, why you are the chosen ones. because you can understand and grasp this, and then when you understand and grasp it, you put it into action. See, majority of you guys, you're listening to me, but at the same time you're listening to me, you're putting it into action. You're saying you're start to implement it. The reason you're implementing it, because you know it's true, because you already seen the evidence, you've already seen the little hints of the universe talking to you. You've seen it. You say, oh wow, this may be, man, he may be onto something here. This may be true. This is the difference. That's why I say your brains are wired differently than everybody else's brain. I mean, if you're watching this, your brain has to be wired different. You're not going to find this content if your brain isn't wired different. If your brain is in the majority of 90% of people, this will bypass you, because your brain isn't tuned into this reality. But if you're watching, this means your brain has been wired to see and experience more of the non-physical than the physical. And that is very profound. And you should be rejoicing and be very happy. Because what that says, it says that you are actually on the right path, and you are using the brain the way it was intended to use. You gotta remember, everything comes from the non-physical and manifests into a perceived physical. So if I just told you that your brains are wired differently, your brains are wired to see more of the non-physical, that means you have more access to majority of information that 90% of the population does not have. 90% of the population, they use their brain on the limited side. They live in their rational, conscious part of the mind. You guys live on the irrational side, the non-logical side, the non-physical side, the creative side. You get your information from the field, which brings it to your conscious, and then you implement it. That's what I mean when I say your brains are wired different. And the reason your brains are wired different, I'll say it again, it's very simple. There's nothing magical. Oh, da da da. It's because of what you attract and what resonates with you. So if over 100 of you watching this, it means that your brain is wired different. That's why you're seeing this. It's the only way it could come to be. So if you ever wonder, is my brain wired different? If this video finds you, your brain is wired different. If your brain isn't wired different, this video will never find you. You can, I'll test it. Listen, you want me to test this for you right now? You want to know whose brain is wired different and whose brain is not? I'm going to show you the test, and you can see it for yourself. You're going to be amazed. So you can take this when this is recorded and uploaded. You watch this video, and then you take it to your closest friends and family and say, hey, watch this guy, watch this video. The ones whose brains are wired different, they'll say, wow, there's something to this. The ones brains that are wired different will say, I don't get it. They won't get it because their brain has been wired to see the physical, not the non-physical. See what I'm showing you? So this is why there's such a thing as chosen one. So it's not everyone is privy to understand or understand this and use it in their life. But I'm just showing you how it works. You can go test it for yourself and you'll see it. And you'll see what I just showed you, that no two people will see and experience the same thing. This will be very profound and eye-opening to somebody, and this will be very confusing and dumbfounded to someone else. I don't like to be, what's the best way I want to put this without sounding egotistical, but it's the truth and I have to put it the way to you. The fact is that there are some people that have it more than other people. That's a fact. That's why you're chosen ones. It means that when you got here, you tuned your brain better than other individuals tune their brain. I cannot explain to you why or who did, because you have your higher self, but that's just a fact. And I mean, you see it all around you. There's just some people who are naturally more successful, naturally more talented, naturally more gifted. Life seems to go their way easier. That's you. Then there's some people that struggle and go through the lack and all of that, and you wonder why can't they change. Well, they cannot change because their brains are wired different. The only way they'll change is if they are awakened and they understand and realize that they want to change. You know, most people don't want to change. You ever consider that? Have you ever thought about that? You see someone struggling and having messed up, and you say, man, why don't you change? And they'll give you the sob story and they say, oh, I'm trying to change. They really don't want to change. They are comfortable because that's all they know. Subconsciously, they're comfortable. Their subconscious says, I don't want to change. Consciously, they may want to do it, but subconsciously, they feel more secure in the toxicity. They feel more secure in the lack. They don't know anything else. But once you become the chosen ones, like you are, a lot of stuff improves in your life. I'm watching it right now. Your sleep is going to improve. Your skin starts to get better and glow. You become more alert. Animals start to come into your surroundings, non-threatening. People start to look at you more intently. People start to admire you. Your energy radiates everywhere you go. You lift people up, and you're not doing anything. You're always getting things first place. The lines open up for you. The light turns green. People help you. Opportunities come to you. Kids rush to you. It's like everything is in your favor. The birds start flying upon you. But the most one is the people. Everywhere you go, you feel people looking at you, staring at you. Yeah, they are staring at you and they are looking at you. But the reason they're looking at you, the reason people are staring at you, is because you are radiating something that they can't pinpoint, that they want to experience. They look at you with envy. But to you, you know what, to you, it's nothing. It's like, that's normal for me. It's like, I can't change this, man. What do you want me to do? I can't stop who I am. People come up to you, they'll say, hey man, you're just so positive, your energy is so good. Do you ever notice that? You may be like, not really, I mean, I'm just doing, hey, how you get your skin so clean? Man, why you look so, hey, why your energy so cool? What is it? Strangers walk up to you. The babies, remember I told you just one of the babies, like if you go around family with babies, the babies and the babies, they start looking at you like fascinated. They'll start smiling out of the blue, laughing with you, giggling. Even the strangers' babies. You go in the supermarket and a lady has her baby and you're next to the baby will look at you. She'll be like, the mom's like, stop looking at that gentleman like that, come on. The baby's fascinated with you. The dogs, if people walking their dogs just come up to you, start sniffing you, and they're like, sorry, she never does that before. Squirrels, animals that are usually shy, the birds, they'll start running. They usually run, but they start coming up to you. They come to your car. You know what that is? I mean, that sounds like, you may be saying to yourself, but there's deep science to that. You know what that says? It says that your brains are wired different. It says that you are emitting a pure vibration. And the reason why the toddlers pick it up is because toddlers are in a state of alpha theta. So they're in the purest, intuitive, natural state. They're still connected to their source. They haven't been tainted yet. So when they see you, they're like, oh, thank God, another one of me. I'm glad to see you before I get tainted. After 3 or 4 years old, they start to get tainted. So they're like, good, one of me. I saw one of myself. Oh, great to see you. The animals, they never get tainted. Animals don't have a frontal cortex. Did you know that? Animals don't, by the way, you know that animals, they don't perceive time. Do you know that? We are the only mammals that perceive time. Cats don't perceive time. Dogs, animals do not perceive time. They lack a frontal cortex, prefrontal cortex. Your cat and your dog lives in the same moment every single day. You're the only one that lives in time. Time is made up. Squirrels, raccoons, dogs, giraffes, no animal primates, they do not experience linear time. Facts. Did you know that? Well, now you know. So next time you're with your dog doesn't know it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday and don't care. And here's something profound about that. The fact that they do not perceive time means that they're more intuitive. This is why they can sense you before you. Your dog and your cat can sense when you're down or when something's wrong with you. They can sense, as a matter of fact, they can sense before something's wrong with you. They can help to protect you. They can give you a warning before something happens. And that's because they are in the moment. When you're in the moment, you are available to all the energy before it comes in. When you're out of the moment, you're not available. So humans are the only mammals that we exist primarily outside of the moment because we invent linear time. So because your brains are wired different, you tend to be more present. The thing with you guys, our most chosen ones, they are naturally wired to be more present. So the question is, all right, Mark, so why is this true? What's the difference? Why is a chosen one and a regular one? What's the big difference? The big difference is the reason why you did this is because you have done so many lifetimes. You have been reincarnated. You've came here so many times that when you decide to come back, you say, all right, when I come back, I'm going to upgrade myself this time to be more present. Last time I was here, I took that upgrade out the picture. So when I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna upgrade to be more present. I'm gonna upgrade to have more intuition. I'm gonna upgrade to get the synchronicity. I'm gonna upgrade to manifest more reality, because I've done all I didn't want to do before. But now this lifetime, I'm gonna come back and do it. That's why you're chosen ones. The other ones that are here that haven't done it, they just haven't chose to do it yet. They're gonna wait for their incarnation, then they will do it. So they choose to not upgrade their brain. They choose to not wire their brain. So that means when you take this video to a family member and you show them, and the ones that resonate with it, they mean they can already upgrade. The ones that don't resonate with it, they're telling you, hey, I'm not ready yet, man. Next lifetime, or maybe if I change this lifetime, I'll do it. But they're just telling you, hey, I haven't gotten to that point yet where I'm ready to upgrade. So this is why you're called the chosen ones. So this is why it will find you and it won't find anyone else. See how that works? That's your message. Take it, run with it. Here are your books. Here are your codes. If you want to go manifest the lottery, there you go. That's right, you can win the lottery too. And this is cheat code, the game of life. See how, look at that, how simple. Isn't that so amazing? That you can go manifest a bunch of money or a casino. You didn't know you could do that? With your mind, not with like gambling or not with odds. Did you even know that? So now you do. You can check it out. Put the links in Amazon like I did it. Cheat code to master the game of life. Yeah, by the way, this is the book I wrote on my journey when I won the lottery, using my mind, not the odds. I won with a $2 ticket. $2. Put me in the right place at the right time. So this is available to chosen ones. Only chosen ones will experience this. So if you go show someone this book or say, hey, get them this book, and they resonate with it, they'll manifest it too. You can get the book. Also, I'll put it up again. I'll put the links where you can get it in the pinned comments. Also, you can get into my one-on-one mentoring program where I can work with you and teach you one-on-one and help you. So yes, you are destined to manifest because you're even more than what the world puts you. So look, let me tell you this. All right. Here's what you got to do moving forward. Please do this. Please ignore anything you see on the mainstream media. Please ignore anything people say about you. Please ignore anyone that looks on you and tell you what you lack. Please ignore all of them. The reason you have to ignore all of them, because they aren't seeing it from your lens. They're not in your game. Yes, the one-on-one, you'll put the link with the books and you can sign up to get into my one-on-one mentoring program. Yep. I'll work with you one-on-one, create a system for you, a routine. You follow it, change your whole life. You win, manifest more money, more success, all of that. Always invest in yourself. But remember this, guys, what I would like you to do moving forward is please, again, I'll repeat it again. Your family members, your friends, or people, they tell you what you lack or what you don't, ignore them. Ignore them. Because they are only seeing their own insecurities and trying to put it on you. They're seeing what they lack and propel it on you. And if you aren't aware, you're going to accept it and invite it. Because I just showed you that the real you is in your head. So don't let anyone fill up your head with a bunch of garbage about what they think you should do, what you don't have, why it won't work. A matter of fact, all of you, one of the biggest lessons you can learn is when you're manifesting and you're changing your life, do not tell anybody what your plans are. Do it in secret. The only people you should share your desires with are the same people who have desires like you, like this community. Talk amongst yourself. That's the only people. Don't tell people, no, you're manifesting the lottery. Don't tell them you're creating your successful business. Stop doing it. Because it will only taint you and it will only ignite your ego to create resistance. You must work in silence and then show up with the action. That's all you do. You chill, you disappear, and you pop up, and it's a done deal. The only time you should share information is with a like-minded community of same individuals like yourself. So if you see me come on here and you're talking, this is the time you can comment with each other and talk about your manifestations and tell people what you manifest, because everyone here is on the same mindset and the energy will help to bring it up. This is why I created my school community, man. My school community, all like-minded individuals. When you get in that community, everybody manifests crazy more, because you're sharing the ideas and you're sharing the intention with the same people like you. They all want to see your success. Nobody's going to get jealous of you. They're not going to say, damn. They're going to say, oh, I'm next. Wow, he got it. I'm next. They're not going to say, damn, what's wrong with me? No one says that. You're not going to say that. So you're going to put the energy together. So just remember that. And that will be your biggest tip, because that will help you to keep your mind in peace and neutrality. All right? See you guys again next time.